Hey everybody, welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 22nd meeting. I'm here with Rosmari and Will and Gabriel and Zeugher and Vlad. We have been talking about growing, and we're about to grow, and also talking about contributing to Optimism and all sorts of exciting stuff. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to give a little presentation with an overview of Optimism Fractal and our recent progress and what we'll do today. And if anyone wants to say hello or share anything or give a quick wave or anything like that, then feel free as always. Thanks all for being here. Really appreciate it. There we go.
Yeah,
All right, all right. Well, thank you. That's nice. I appreciate that. Nice to see all the beautiful, amazing people here. Great builders, great optimists. For anybody who's not familiar, Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators and optimism. It is a great place to build a better future in general and to meet optimists and talented innovators in the Optimism Collective. And make friends and network and with builders and creators, and also earn respect too, because we play the respect game each week. It's a super fun and helpful consensus game where everybody shares what they're doing to help optimism or just in general to help grow the optimistic vision and help achieve in the world. And then we have a consensus game where we work to earn a respect token and to evaluate each other's impact and so forth. And it's also an excellent place to promote your work too, since we publish these videos each week, and we promote it to help spread the word about all the great public goods creators and all the great, awesome things that people are doing in the Optimism Collective. So you can learn more on the website, optimismfractal.com. You can also check out the tools that we use to post the consensus on the OP stack too. Vlad is here from the Optimistics team, and he has built many of these tools, and he's working on some really exciting new ones as well that we'll share shortly. And then you can check out lou.ma/optimismfractal for the weekly event where you can actually register and so forth. These happen every Thursday at 17 UTC, and everybody's welcome to join. You're also welcome and encouraged to invite friends. We'd love to meet new people. So please RSVP here, and you can find the Zoom link too on every Thursday at 17 UTC, and happy to meet you here. Also, I encourage you to like and retweet and follow along with on Twitter and Farcaster, Optimistics, which is the team that created the Optimism Fractal in the first place. We put out weekly reminders and weekly events where you can check out here. Rosemary's also putting out some great tweets here too. So you could check out what's going on there and also on Farcaster as well, which is a really great social media network, decentralized social media on the Optimism network. And we have an Optimism Fractal channel too, where you can talk about Optimism Fractal as well as on our Discord. And like I said, we publish videos each week too, so you can check that out on Optimism Fractal media, optimismfractal.com/media. So we published our 15th episode about the optimistic vision and our vision for the future of Optimism Fractal, and also our recent videos about the council that has been formed. We have a consensus process where people who have earned respect can help make decisions and express the opinion of the community and so forth. So people can learn about that on the videos and all sorts of other cool things we've been doing to develop better collective coordination tools and build a more regenerative society and help rank contributions and so forth over the past 6 months or so. We're just about to go on our 6-month anniversary. You can see more of these and more videos. Like Eden Fractal is another community where we're pioneering these methods on the Optimistics YouTube channel and many other exciting shows. And then also recently we started to post the breakout rooms too. So we go into breakout rooms of 3 to 6 people in each group in each week, and we recently started to organize the videos from each breakout room too, so that you can see that there in the Optimism Fractal Notion site. We'll share more details about that soon and make it easier for people to find that, but feel free to watch it there. Like I said, you can learn more at optimistics.io as well, which is the team that founded it. And also, if you're not familiar with Optimism, check out optimism.io, working to build a world that benefits all, owned by no one, working to scale up the Ethereum ecosystem with the super chain, all sorts of amazing things going on with this composable unified network of blockchains for the future of the internet with Base and many other amazing things going on in Optimism. That's what we're working to support here. Optimism also recently announced too the next round of RetroPGF, or now it's called RetroFunding. And this is an amazing way for people to earn funding from contributing to the Optimism Collective. They've allocated 850 million OP for RetroPGF or RetroFunding, where basically people create public goods for Optimism, and then they can get rewarded. And that's a substantial amount of funding that a lot of people are doing to support their businesses, such as the Optimistics, and several other hundreds of projects have been working to earn funding by building great public goods and so forth. So this will be happening over the course of the year with lots of funding available. There's also airdrops too and stuff like that. So I recommend people check it out. If you're creating public goods and you're interested, then both you can earn from RetroFunding, and also joining Optimism Fractal can provide a lot of benefits here too. There's been a bit of discussion about this in the Optimism Fractal Discord chat. Hadlan was asking about this, and so I shared some replies about the different categories and how we could earn, how Optimism Fractal contributors can earn, and how everybody's welcome to join and share their work and so forth to help them earn funding as well. So we're going to play the respect game, which I actually forgot to bring up, but if you go back to the homepage and you go to respect game, I think everybody here is well familiar with it, so I won't go into too much detail, but if anybody's watching doesn't know, respect game, basically how it works, we go into breakout rooms and we share what we've done. Each person takes 3 or 4 minutes to share what they've done, and then we rank each other's contributions and form consensus and so forth. It's a great process, and so you'll see as it goes when you watch the video, and feel free to learn more at optimistic.io/respect game. That'll be going to the top of the hour, and then also for anybody who wants to stick around, we'll have a planning session for another half hour too, where we can just kind of coordinate the future of Optimism Fractal and discuss all sorts of things about optimism and what we want to do here in the Optimism Fractal community going forward. And happy to hear anybody's thoughts about that. In the future, maybe we'll have it where you can vote with respect, but currently it's kind of just laid back conversation. And one of the things we've been doing is referring to the Optimism Fractal Notion page, where it has a lot of resources that you can learn more about Optimism Fractal, as well as projects that we're working on. So if anyone wants to help contribute, that would be much appreciated. We have a whole bunch of projects and tasks that we're working on to grow Optimism Fractal here, and we also have some topics too, so we could discuss anything here, anything else that is on anybody's mind. Feel free to ask during the planning session. So yeah, there's some more resources there where you can learn more if you're interested in getting involved. We'll try to wrap up the breakout room like at least maybe 5 or 10 minutes before. And I don't know if we'll actually have a breakout room because we just have 6 people today. So maybe we'll just stick in one room. That's probably how we'll do it. We'll just have us 6 here, and we'll just try to wrap it up pretty soon so that we can have time to discuss the planning session. But of course, everybody can take their time to have fun and share their contributions and so forth. So that's it. I also put Eden Fractal here too, because for anyone who's interested in getting involved with these processes like Optimism Fractal, we have another meeting every Wednesday at 16 UTC that you're very welcome to join as well. Another community that's been pioneering this for a while. But with that being said, that's the end of my presentation. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we can kick it off with the respect game. So thank you for the claps. Well, I appreciate it. Will was saying he was just running a marathon. Oh, I got lots of claps going on, and lots of claps. Much appreciated in heart. All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate all the support, and I'm glad that everybody seems very excited to be here. So that's awesome. Would any of you like to share any thoughts in general, or go first to share what you've been doing in to help optimism in their respect game?
I would like to go first.
People are very not all at once, right?
Okay, I can go first then.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Rosmari.
Cool. Would you set a timer?
Sure, I'll set a timer. And by the way, everybody has screen sharing permissions too. So if anybody wants to share their screen to share like a more visual overview of what you've been doing, then you're very welcome to do so. And that can help the audience, whoever's watching out there, to better understand your work. I'll pull up the timer now. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. So this past week, I worked on promoting the event, and I made this image, which goes with the promotion. I was kind of busy too with other stuff, like other more personal stuff, but I'm looking forward to contribute more in the upcoming days and weeks too. That's just as a disclaimer. And here I invited everyone to the event, and also mentioning that we'd love to connect and explore more about RetroFunding. I think today we might discuss this after, so that is like a hot topic since the announcement happened. I share that in the OP stack and the Optimism. Here it was shared also in the Optimism Farcaster channel. Also, I share this message, drafted it, and worked with Dan. He was providing feedback and guiding me in crafting this message. That is a promotional message for Eden Fractal. As Dan mentioned, this is happening every Wednesday, and So I made this image, and in this event we were going through the strategy session, and in here I promoted it in the Onchain Gaming channel. I did a similar type of promotions in the Optimystics Twitter account, as well as from my personal account, and inviting people to join the events. And same here, same thing here. And then I was working on the timestamps for the Optimism Fractal from last week, the draft version or initial version of the timestamps. And also I shared the promotional message in our Discord channel. Also, I edited the video from last week and the video from Eden Fractal too from last week, and also drafted initial timestamps for that video. I did that using Claude AI, so, and it's really helpful for that. Also, I shared the promotional the promotion in the Optimism governance forum. And I also uploaded here in our Optimism Fractal Notion page the recording from my breakout room, and you can find all of the or most of the breakout room recordings in here in the database. And also I attended the Optimistics call where Vlad, he would probably mention and provide more details, but Vlad presented a UI demo of the Fractal app he was building, and we're all brainstorming on best ways we can go about this. And I was kind of working the back to organize my tasks, and I was using the new feature, the home feature in Notion, where you can see all your tasks from the multiple databases. So I was kind of doing that to get more organized with my tasks. And also me and Dan were brainstorming a lot on the strategy, promotional strategy, more so going into RetroPGF. And I made some notes here on how we can start to promote these events so that we can invite more people who are interested in RetroPGF, so that we can get like a nice group of applicants or people who want to find out more, and we can maybe start to focus some of the sessions on that. And I was kind of just also working with them on coordinating these into a database. Sort to go a bit over time. That's it from me. Who would like to go next? Or I can nominate. I nominate Gabriel.
Okay. I was feeling that was the next.
Yeah, I was feeling it too, so that's why.
Very nice
You
job,
go. Thank you.
So, welcome everyone. I think everybody knows me here, but I'm Gabriel Novak. I'm for Blockful. We are a developing company for optimizing human coordination. So, for this meeting, guys, I was looking for doing some activity to contribute for Optimism, and I saw one activity, one task specifically saying on Notion that I will share to you guys here. 1 second. I share my screen. Oh, yeah, here. So I found this tasks that is implementing Robert rules. That is a book from Robert. He write some kind of agreements, kind of like a code of conduct for a meeting, right? So I thought that it would be like more from like coordination things, more like from governance things. But what I found, it was like a simple rules for like a rule in a meeting. So I read this like this summary, this resume of the book that give the principles of the book. And like here you guys can see like you are tired of the current discussion, what we do, like what the steps for like we can manage the meeting better, something like that. So I didn't find it so valuable for us right now, because what we are doing in Optimism Fractals meetings, it's very good. Like what Dens do, what Rosmari do, like a leading person for the meeting, let everyone says what all we did. So leave the conversation very open, very friendly. And the second thing is to register everything, to make tasks for the propositions. So I don't think we need to stress a lot these tasks here. I really think that if Optimism Fractals, this meeting grows to 100 people or like 150 people, I think we should have better rules for that. But I think right now we don't need to worry about it because we are very small team yet. I hope, and we are very organized. So this is my thought, what I think about this topic, and yeah, that was my contribution for Optimism Fractal this week. And I will looking for other activities that are engaged with governance research and coordination. Okay.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Gabriel, for doing that research and helping out with that. I really appreciate that. And there's some great points. I see Zeugher and Rosmari clapping and putting hearts up there. So much appreciated. You still have another like minute or so if you want to share any more details of what you've been up to in general, a block pool or anything else, or if you want to pass it on, then whenever you're ready, you can do so as well.
Yeah, sure. Blockful, I talked this last meeting, so we just have approved for a grant on scaling ENS in Optimism. So our team will be starting working on this great project that will bring on board users from ENS to Optimism. So make a bridge for this feature and let everyone that has ENS work this or do this, so manage the DNS ecosystem in Optimism. So it will be a very good improvement for the ecosystem.
Awesome. Well, yeah, congratulations on I saw your mission was approved too, so we're very excited to see the work. And that's all sounds awesome. So thanks so much, Gabriel. Would you like to pick somebody to go next?
May Vlad, can you go?
Absolutely. So last week, or let's say recently, I've been thinking and working on the next iteration of this app that we are using to submit consensus of this meeting. Currently, I'm in a stage of wireframe, so just a rough design how it should look. And yeah, this next iteration, it would simplify a lot the process. So if right now we have to go to the Telegram in order to reach consensus, and then we have to go to the web app to submit the consensus, in the next iteration, it's gonna be all in one place. So no need to switch between Telegram and the web app. Plus, it will also have a nice UI where you could see like what is the current respect distribution, who is on top, how many members have participated, how many meetings there have been. Yeah. So that's pretty much my contribution. And yeah, I have to mention that the idea for the app is that it's not. So the holy grail is an app which would decentralize automatically the contracts, such that after this consensus meeting, automatically the respect is distributed, and based on that respect, the new MSIGers are elected. but this is not so easy. And it's yeah, there are a lot of components that have to go into the app in order to make it fully decentralized. So the next iteration, it's not actually like the final solution, it's just the next step, intermediary step, and it would enable different communities who see that process as something interesting. It would enable them easily to test it out with their community. So that's the idea. And the plan is to use account abstraction so that even the communities that are not on chain, so that they could still try this process out and see how it works. So yeah, that's from me. Will, would you like to go?
Sure, I'll go next, but commentary from Dan or Rosmari, moderators first. What Vlad has been doing.
Well, I think Vlad's doing awesome work, so I very much appreciate it. The only thing I was gonna maybe suggest to Vlad at some point is I don't know if you wanted to share the wireframe so people could see it, like share the visual of it. But that's really up to you. And if Vlad wanted to pass it on, that's cool.
If somebody is interested, I can share the link, but I wouldn't go into the details now.
Okay, sounds good. I see some claps. Very nice. Thanks a lot.
All right, so I think he picked on me, so I'm up next, yeah?
Yep.
Let me share my screen while you are starting the timer. Oh, yeah, we'll go with this. Okay. I think this will be the screen I want to share. That should get the whole screen. Well, give me 1 second here. It's giving me different options here, so.
Sure thing. Yeah, it can be confusing figuring out the Zoom
Yeah,
screen
it's
share.
giving me an iPhone, iPad option now I've never seen before, so there must have been an update to Zoom. Okay.
Okay, we got it now.
Hopefully you guys can see my screen and what I'm sharing.
Yep, I see bonfire.
All right, cool. Well, that's our website builder, so that's where we're going to start. So, you have the timer running yet? Okay, there we go. See it now. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of updates to our business website, kingfishersmedia.io. We do use Bonfire as our website builder. It's very easy. Someone's looking to put up a website. It's a very easy, fluid, plug and play type of website that uses block style formatting, which I am a really big fan of. We can also, as you see, we can make pages either public facing or gated. Most of our pages are gated for now until we can become a more public facing community. But I've been doing a lot of work updating on the course supporters, events, and learning center environment, and we'll get to that in just a minute as to the why. I don't know if I shared this last week or not, but we do have a builders grant out there in the current iteration of grant funding on Optimism. Building on OP Mainnet, it's going to be a decentralized learning management solution and course marketplace. All of our educators will have a place they want to have a different distribution channel for their courses to get them out there. Additionally, I attended a meeting for our delegate, who is Bricious. So she had an AMA last Friday. So I did attend that. We had a really good session on being able to ask pretty much anything we wanted to. And then also on Monday, I did attend the grant council, the OP Grant Council open house, I guess is the great way to put it. I did attend that meeting. We got some perspective on when they're going to make a decision on all these grants that are out there right now, especially the builders grants. And I guess we'll be hearing back in the next 6 days, the latest, where we're at in the process. But as you saw with the grant, and hopefully you can still see my screen, we're still in the intake process there. Additionally, outside of that, we migrated our core learning center from a traditional learning center environment. We were using Google Classroom as the environment. That did serve us the purpose of the time, but one thing I learned through the process, it was very difficult for our learners to navigate it because it constituted of having an invite on every single classroom that we opened up for them, which each classroom represented a course, right? So it's very cumbersome for the user experience. So what we've done is leverage our relationship recently with Charmverse. So we now have a fully fleshed out learning center in Charmverse. This does have a direct touch point back to Optimism in our rewards mechanisms, because one thing we've done, so now we are a certification entity inside of the Web3 education sector. So all of our courses we have in here not only have an attestation using the Ethereum attestation service as well, because they've integrated with Charmverse. So it's very easy. So they get this nice little certified learner logo there, but also our rewards mechanisms that are built into this. Anytime they complete a course, it is going to be a learn to earn mechanism where it is not necessarily OP directly, but it is a custom token on OP that we use in the Let's Grow DAO to kind of grow that ecosystem as well, right? So we're growing a multifaceted approach on both the Let's Grow DAO ecosystem, but also Optimism as well, because we do take up block space on Optimism. Outside of that, I was also selected as a Gitcoin retro citizen. So there is that campaign ongoing right now. And then we had some really well-developed conversations with our holders. It's kind of introducing them to the new setup on the Learning Center with all these invites. We held office hours Tuesday evening. We did a live art demo with one of the people in our network last night. All those were recorded. And then the last thing is that we set up a deform. So it's my first experience working with deform. We set up a deform to make sure that we have all their wallet addresses verified so we can distribute their future rewards. And I don't know if that shared my whole window or not, but.
Awesome.
Yeah, very nice, Will. Thank you. It looked great. I was able to see it all well. I see Rosmari saying best of luck, Will, in the chat. Zeugher saying Blockful loves EAS too. So, and Greenheart. Very nice, Will. Thank you so much. Hard work all around. That's right, Rosmari.
You're welcome. And I'm going to pick on Zeugher.
Okie dokie. Well, let me try this share screen here from mobile for the first time in my life. Give me a second. Let me know.
Okay.
What
Trying new things
what do
here.
you see? Are you seeing my?
We see Zoom. You're sharing your screen, and now we see your apps. You're moving to Warpcast and X.
Yes, we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to.
We also
bring
see
up.
the
We're
Zoom
good to
window
go.
too.
Yeah,
Now we don't. Now it's
okay.
good.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, perfect. So this week we're keeping the work on the products that we've been sharing here past few weeks. So reputation systems and AI governance. But I've started feeling a bit of the disconnection between the Brazilian, let's say, Brazilian scene on building Web3 and the global one where I'm more used to. So I've decided to go back to content and started this little calendar of Twitter spaces to explore some of the topics that we've been seeing around public goods and open source, but in Twitter spaces in Portuguese. I managed to get a beautiful list of many, many helpful friends bringing suggestions of people to work with, to have on those first episodes, from art to degen trading to all things that we can look at, from art as part of communities as a way to build DAOs, to ways to integrate crypto payments with Brazilian payments in easier ways with Picnic, and then reached out to all those people who started building the calendars and the topics and what are the groups that I want on the same spaces to make it more powerful and spread a bit into Portuguese, what we've been talking here on different DAOs and different spaces. Also had some good fun exploring a bit of Farcaster on that same view, but in that part exclusively in English, but trying to understand how's the movement on the super chain that Base is bringing, the surge of those past few weeks of how Base is outgrowing everything on the NFT space and trying to understand what those new super cheap fees on L2s make it possible for us to bring there, which got me looking into a nice movement made by a lot of PGF guys about degens versus regens. So just bringing up some of the memes and some of the communications to Warpcast to try to get their manifesto and understand what are the possible movements by looking at how much of degen movement is happening on the super chain right now and how can we bring it onto regen. Part of that was reading Livia's token engineering last paper that they released, Livia and two other authors, on a lot of interesting views of more than 40 different interviewed people that work on the area and trying to understand what is building token economics in a regen perspective versus what this meme coin craziness that's been going on, which led me to an interesting conversation on one of the degen communities that is going on called Sended that has a governance around their meme coin, and trying to understand what would be needed to attack that quote unquote DAO, and just starting to make those little analysis of what is going on those meme coin communities, what is their token model that's being so successful in attracting so many people. How can we apply some of the regen perspectives of DAOs, of impact DAOs, and the whole optimism view around this big movement that is happening on Base? Where do those two things connect? Because we do have this surge of people getting more and more interested in this new bull moment of degen meme coin trading, with a bunch of new tech that was not here in 2021. And especially where I'm looking at, there's like a Brazilian ecosystem. There's a lot of people getting excited on that, but that does not necessarily translate into bringing those people aligned with a vision to build together in a better future, in a regenerative future. So trying to make those first connections between what's going on on the most active parts of the super chain at this point, and how can we bring that together into something that we want to build as a future. Yeah. Oh, perfect timing. Okay.
All right, very nice, Zeugher. Thank you for sharing. I think that's the first time we've ever seen a mobile screen share live, and looks like you're doing all sorts of awesome work. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And
we got
if I may, real quick,
Oh.
not meaning to interrupt you, Dan. Zug, when you find that intersection of regen and degen and base and optimism, please let us know because we'd like to know as well.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. That's all what we're all looking for, right? Getting that hype that's going on and trying to make that hype into actually building a better future instead of just a better up-only curve, right? If we could get people as hyped about planting trees and changing structures as they are about making the curve go up, we'd be so fucking well. Well, I will call Dan as the next one, the last but not least, our amazing host. Your turn, man.
Thank you very much, Zug. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'll go ahead. Awesome work all around. Love to see it. And I don't know if I can set a timer for myself still, because I think it goes away, but I'll just maybe.
I'll do it.
Okay, thanks, Rosmari. Okay, and I'll just get going right now so I can get maybe a couple of seconds for free. Okay, so here's what I've been doing. I've been working a lot in Notion and trying to organize this page to be as helpful as possible, and adding tasks and stuff. So I won't be able to share majority of what I'm doing, but I work well over full time for Optimistics and Optimism Fractal, just working on making this as helpful as possible. One of the main things I've been focusing on this week is what Vlad was talking about with the Fractal app. So I've been working to support Vlad's development. He's also working with another great front-end developer too. So here's a page I curated some months ago and update occasionally with like an overview of the Fractal app that Vlad is building. It's not necessarily the most updated version, but it has like some things that we've been developing towards, because there's several other developers in the community who are building these kind of things too. So like Vlad mentioned having it all in one spot, or he mentioned having it all automated. And so he's built similar stuff like this. So here's kind of like just an overview. If you want to check it out, that's on the optimistics.io/tools place where you can find that. And then I've been working one on providing a lot of feedback to Vlad, and some of it I haven't yet provided yet, but there's all sorts of stuff that I have like long details, because I was looking at Vlad's wireframe, he showed it, and like so I went through like all the workflows and the flows of it, and lots of it I shared comments in the Figma to figure out exactly like all the details about how things will be stored, and to make it as simple as possible for people to use it and so forth, and trying out a new consensus algorithm too that Vlad is going to try out. So all sorts of stuff that I've been like just writing a lot of notes about these things. And I've also been organizing all of the features from this app into this kind of like a feature set, like a database, which isn't totally complete because I have to organize it better. But it has like basically different features that we can debut and release at different days and stuff like that. So organizing like and managing the project and coordinating this development, helping Vlad and Lenar, who's the developer working on this, help as much as possible. And then at the same time, I've also been working on some UX designs for like a simple respect game app that and I built like a logo kind of thing and put this together to make it look nice. So connect, contribute, and collaborate to achieve shared goals, play with a few friends or a large group of many people. And then there's like a little flow basically where you can invite participants. I'm also thinking about how we can like make this game like viral, kind of like Wordle, or games that people will play, and then how everybody could give each other respect and see the respect and play again, and how we could do all sorts of stuff like that, as well as like design for how it could work and how to play and stuff like that. So kind of early stage. I've been learning how to use Figma and checking it out, but I think there's several different kinds of apps that we can build that are super helpful, and so I'm working on supporting Vlad in that, and then developing different versions to make it like a really helpful game. I've also been putting together an article for funding and retrofunding to help people earn retrofunding, both by helping people understand how Optimism Fractal can help people earn retrofunding from Optimism Collective for their projects, as well as by contributing to Optimism Fractal as well. And that goes along with all the stuff in Notion too, so that people can get rewarded and earn lots of funds by creating public goods, helping Optimism Fractal and for their own projects. So that's kind of like a draft blog post I've been writing, and I also shared a bit in the Discord, as I showed before, in response to Hotlan about this. So there's more details there. I've been doing some technical stuff, like I followed up with Jimmy about the some issues that we had with the web app, and just like welcomed him and stuff like that. He's doing great work, of course. So and then I made some pages here about like fixing these issues that we sometimes have, and just like trying to keep touch with all this, and then also put together a FAQ as well. And then I made the poll for the registration poll this week too, and then I put some I worked on figure out ways we can automate like syncing up snapshot for polls, and with other things like Discord and stuff like that. I'm just at my time, so I'll go and just hurry through this. I'm also working a lot with Rosmari on coordinating the Optimistics promotional strategy here. So there's lots of ideas about how we're going to improve the website and up our promotional game and all sorts of stuff like that. And then I gave some feedback from Rosmari, and then made a little cast too to help promote the event. And then I've also been working on improving our Notion workflow in general as well. Made a quick project about that, and I've been in communication with the founder of LivePeer as well to figure out how we can hook up the video components in a decentralized manner for live streaming and video storage. And lastly, I hosted Optimism Fractal or Eden Fractal each week, where we're working to implement these kinds of fractal decision-making processes throughout society that we're doing at Optimism Fractal. So we're strategizing this, and that can help grow these things that we're doing at the Optimism Fractal a lot. So I was talking about the products that we're building, like the apps and so forth. So that's it. I went about 30 seconds over, but hope that you all enjoyed. And that is my presentation of what I did to help Optimism this week. Thank you, Will and Zeugher. Much appreciated. And Rosmari, thank you, thank you, thank you. Rosmari, have you started setting up a Fractogram group, or should I do it?
No, I was paying close attention to your presentation.
Okay, thank you for paying attention. I appreciate that.
I'll step up.
What's up? You'll set it up? Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And while Rosmari setting that up, I think everybody here knows how it works well. Does anybody have any questions or comments for anybody, especially if it'd be helpful to help reach consensus? I see some comments that Gabriel, you dream with this respect app every day. What do you mean by that? I'm curious. That sounds very nice. I'm very interested. Sounds like a great dream. Thanks for sharing the Optimistics /tools. And Royal said amazing thing. We talked about gamification of activity on our broadcast today. Ooh, very interesting. I'd be interested to hear more about that. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that a lot.
Well, it is recorded, so you can always go back and listen to the recording.
Very cool. Do you want to share the link to that broadcast? Which broadcast is that?
That's our Kingfishers Media twice a week broadcast that we do on X Spaces. We do it Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. So yeah, basically right before this call, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
right before
very
this call.
cool.
So
Okay,
the hour
thanks.
before this call. Yeah, I'll be happy to share the link of the broadcast today. And we're in the middle of a new web series right now. We're like 12 episodes in, called The Future of Businesses Web3. So if anybody in here would like to check out any of our broadcasts, we're having a little bit of challenges with broadcasting through the website right now. Bonfire's working through that to get that sorted for us. So right now it's an X-only experience, but as soon as we're back up on the website, then we will definitely have we'll have that capability as well.
Awesome. Well, great to hear. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, I look forward to seeing the link that you share and then and listening to it. That'd be awesome. And also, I've been putting together, I think last week I shared that I've been working on a calendar of events that are in the Optimism community. So I'd also be happy to add your X Spaces to this as well, so that other people can see it, and so we can have a like all together too. And help promote your event too, as well as I can. It's nice that it's right before, so I'm sure we can do lots of collaborations there. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome, and thank you. Rosmari just shared the link to the group, by the way, so I encourage everybody to join there so that we can do the consensus. We have 10 minutes left for the respect game, so we'll try to reach consensus pretty quickly. One of the things that Vlad is building is a way to make it even quicker and more effective. And let's see, Witter, Will just, Witter, sorry for that. Will shared the, Witter. Will shared his own client of Twitter called Witter. No. Cool, thanks for sharing that, Will, appreciate that. I just added to the calendar page and we'll check it out. And looks like everybody joined, so Rosmari, whenever you're ready, you can make up the prompt to have everybody put their accounts in.
Gosh, we really gotta get that ENS solution here. We talked about this week in Blockful, but didn't get to the point of moving forward to actually getting the code true.
Yeah, thanks for talking about that, Zeugher. I appreciate that a lot, and I agree. ENS would be super helpful. I was planning, I think I read something right after we talked last week to reach out to you about it, and also to I don't know, like I think I might have put together like a task or a project about that. So I don't know exactly how involved or how difficult that'd be for the integration, or like what things would go into it. But if there's anything I could do to help facilitate that, then I'd be very happy to, and that'll make it much easier to use the app, and I think that'll be really awesome.
Zoo, do you do a lot of work with ENS? Just curious.
Well, I don't do directly the dev work on the ENS part, but Blockful is like, let's say 50% of our dev effort right now is around ENS.
Okay, because I was going to say there is as part of Gitcoin Grants season 20, there is a grant application period that's open right now around ENS. So if you just go to gitcoin.co and go to the Explorer, you
Yeah,
can see what that grant's all about.
I appreciate the reminder. We got our eyes on it. We're writing something to get in there, but I really appreciate the reminder.
Okay, sounds great. Love to hear it. Love all the emojis we put out today. Very nice. And everybody has put their accounts in there. So Rosmari, I think you can go ahead and do that. Who should we rank level 6 now? Who do you think did the most out optimism this week? You can now vote for it. It looks like there's 5 votes so far. We haven't gotten a vote from Vlad yet.
As we are 6 to get consensus here, we need how many votes again? I'm still grasping the rules.
We need 4 to 6 votes to get consensus.
Okay.
So, but it looks like somebody switched over to Vlad, and it looks like Vlad has consensus. So Vlad got level 6, and Vlad is also working on one of the cool things he's working on is making it so you don't have to get 4 to 6 consensus. It's just like gives you more respect if you have a higher level of consensus, which is a pretty cool feature. But yeah, currently you need 66% consensus.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, and thank you, Vlad. Okay, the poll is up for level 5 now. Who should it be?
We got Will.
And looks like Will has consensus, 4 to 6 consensus.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Will. Now, who should be ranked level 4? And it looks like I have 4 to 6 consensus. So thanks all. Appreciate it. We're having some pretty quick rounds here. No discussion needed. But you may not have to build that extra version of the app because we got it under control. Okay.
I would say that consensus is easier when you have consensus.
Yes, right. Maybe that could be our slogan. Okay, who should be level 3? Let's see if we'll come to consensus immediately about this one too. Okay, this one we did not have consensus yet. So we have 3 votes from Rosmari for Zug, Novak, and or I should say Gabriel and Will, and 2 votes from Zug, from Vlad and Rosmari, and 1 vote for Gabriel from me. So now it's 33, 33, 33. So it changed up a little bit. It got a little bit even more difficult. Somebody changed their mind. So yeah, Rosmari still has 50% now. Does anybody want to advocate either way or share their thoughts or reasoning for why they voted for who they voted for? Also, Rosmari, if you wanted to switch to yourself, then you could get consensus. But I don't know, is anybody about to say something there?
I think
just. Oh yeah, we're done. Okay, no need of advocating now.
Okay, cool. We reached it pretty quick. I think Rosmari's doing excellent work too. So happy to see Rosmari get level 3, and we can do level 2 now. And it looks like there's consensus for Gabriel on level 2 with 4 votes. And Zeugher putting at the heart. Very nice. Also, really appreciate Zeugher's work too, of course. Everybody earns respect, and much respect for everybody doing things here. It seemed like you had a lot of engagement going on with all those things that you're doing on Twitter and X and Farcaster and stuff like that, Zeugher. And I know you're also up to really exciting work at Blockful and with the AI app and with the ENS and stuff like that. So just want to say I really appreciate it very much and looking forward to following your work. And if you did want to share any links too, so we could look more deeply into it, then I'd be happy to check it out.
Soon enough, once there are links to be shared, can be sure that they'll be coming by. But happy to come by to see a lot of nice work going on this week.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, looking forward to it. I might scroll through your profile too, the Zeugher profile, and check it out in more details there as well. And I also love to see all the great work going on this week.
Does everyone have to submit?
The way it works right now is that at least 4 to 6 people have to submit the same consensus on chain in order for respect to be distributed. It's also possible if less than that don't, then we could make a proposal with the council to approve it, which takes some additional work and stuff. So it's best if we can get at least 4 to 6 people to submit it, and the more the better. If everybody can submit it, that'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm not on desktop, so I can't really sign it right now. So if everyone else could take that one, I'd appreciate it if I can skip it.
And I will say it's getting tougher and tougher each week to vote for the different levels because we're all doing amazing work here in this group. So
Yeah, I agree. Well said, Will. That's part of the fun of it. And what's that, Zeugher?
That might be also interesting feedback on the view of the app is that as I open submit here, the logging button, I do have Zerion in here, and I have a MetaMask that is not set up right. That's just for testing, but it hits on MetaMask first. When I click login, it doesn't let me go through because the MetaMask is wrong. The desired network is not added to MetaMask because I was messing around with it. So I'd have to add OP again in there as I'm taking MetaMask on and off the browser the whole time. But it doesn't give me the option to pick the other wallet that is Zerion, that is right there and working normally. It won't give me the option to go through it. It just goes straight to MetaMask, and as my MetaMask is broken, I can't. Just bug feedback.
Thank you. I see Vlad giving a thumbs up. I can add that as well to that project / hash that I have running for improving the current UX issues with the app. That's all on mobile, you said, right, Zeugher?
No, that's on my laptop. That's not where I have the MetaMask. Like I have a computer with the MetaMask properly set up, and I have this other computer that's like for on the fly moving things. And in this one, last week I was on the other computer with a proper MetaMask working. It works fine. On this one, where I use another wallet, it doesn't. I'll do a little recording and DM you the bug.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks so much. That would be super helpful. And I'll also try listening to the recording too and see if I can troubleshoot it as well. I know we had some issues where if people had desktop and they had 2 wallets, there were some issues that Rosmari and Abraham talked about last week. But hopefully everybody else is able to submit the results. If anybody had any issues, then please let us know. I just submitted it without any issue. Welcome, Riches, as well. Thanks so much for joining. I'm a big fan of your work, and I remember hearing from Will a few weeks ago that he just said that he joined your office hours this week in his presentation, and that you invited him to Optimism Fractal. So really appreciate. I've enjoyed learning a lot from you, and welcome to the event. Thanks for joining. If you'd like to say hello or anything like that, feel free, or if you'd like to just listen. Oh, I see. Good GM, happy to be here. Smiles. Okay, very nice. Glad to hear. I'm saying britches, but I see it says britcha here, so My apologies if I'm mispronouncing it, but I've heard britches, but I see britches. Yeah. Okay, britches. Okay, okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, feel free to say hello or introduce yourself for the audience here if people don't know you. But really appreciate you joining. And we're just wrapping up the respect game too. So I think that everybody submitted consensus from what I can tell. If everybody did have any issue submitting consensus on chain, then please let us know. But otherwise, we can proceed into the planning session. And this was an awesome respect game. So thanks everybody so much for all the amazing work and the great times.
Okay, everyone. I'm gonna have to hop a bit late to the next one, but good sesh for you guys. See you soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Zeugher.
Yeah, I got to hop too. See you guys. Very nice to talk to you again.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks, Gabriel. And great to see you as always. And looking forward to seeing you again soon. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you guys too. Bye bye.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, if anybody else needs to go as well, we have maybe I'll share real quickly the screen where to show where we're at right now. If anybody else needs to go at the top of the hour, we have these two different events, like the main event of Optimism Fractal, and it's separate from the Optimism Fractal planning session. So the Optimism Fractal main event, where we play the respect game, that just ended a couple minutes ago. And now we have the planning session that we're going into. Oops, that's the Eden Fractal one. Here's the planning session, where basically this kind of like open discussion, basically. So if we want, we can bring up some topics, and we discussed that we could vote on topics with respect in the future. But right now, there's 5 of us here, and I see Bridgie says she came to listen to only and was curious to join. Okay, well, sounds great. Thanks so much for joining to listen. And you are very welcome. And if you do have anything you want to share at any point, then you're also very welcome to do so too. But yeah, if anybody has any thoughts or questions or comments, then feel free to share. One thing that I had written in the Discord that we could discuss here is Hadlan was asking about, he asked, curious how we think about applying to the RetroPGF, because last week Rosmari put out this message in the Discord about asking people if they saw Optimism Collective's announcement or the Optimism Foundation's announcement for retrofunding. And then Hadlan had said he was wondering if Optimism Fractal would fall under the governance category, most likely, question mark. And he said, curious to hear what we think about applying as Optimism Fractal or Optimistics or both or something else. And so that's a potential topic that we could discuss. I followed up with Hadlan today and shared some thoughts about ways that people who contribute to Optimism Fractal can earn funding. And I said I'm also working on that blog post to share how Optimism Fractal can help assist people with earning retro funding for various projects helping to create public goods in Optimism Collective. That's one idea. We also have our Notion page here, where we have a whole bunch of other projects and stuff that we showed before. We have this topic section where we have upvoting, where you can upvote in the interface. So if we wanted to do that, we could. Also, if we wanted to wrap up early too, then we could do that anytime. But we have 25 minutes scheduled here. So curious. Also, Vlad brought up some very interesting ideas about the respect game after these building. We were brainstorming that a lot at yesterday's Eden Fractal meeting. And lots of other exciting stuff going on too in Optimism. So curious, I'll just kind of leave the floor open with that. Does anybody have any topics you'd like to discuss or anything you'd like to get into or any questions or anything like that?
I'd like to explore more on the retro funding opportunities for this group.
Me too.
Okay. Sounds great. Me too. Well,
So let me provide some context. My understanding is the first retro fund or the next cycle, which launches in May, it's my understanding, is going to be focused more towards people that have actually built and taken up block space on OP mainnet. Is that true? Am I partially correct in that thinking?
that is true and partially correct, I believe. So I'll share my screen again to the blog post that was shared by the Optimism Foundation about this. And specifically, I took some screenshots here. So I'll open up the announcement post as well in another window here. But in the screenshot I shared, so the 4 rounds that are coming up for retro funding that in this year that have been announced are for Onchain Builders, OP Stack, Governance, and Dev Tooling. and they are starting. The applications will be due in May, August, and October. And the first round that's coming up is Onchain Builders. So as you said, Onchain Builders is certainly rewarding people who are increasing demand for block space and helping to facilitate transactions, by providing good use cases that people enjoy or benefit from, where they use the OP mainnet, but also the whole entire Optimism superchain too, because as it says in the blog post too, that this is eligible for the entire Optimism superchain, which includes Base and Fractal and several other initiatives here too, like Zora and Farcaster and SoundXYZ and so forth. So on the OP mainnet or any other superchain networks, then you can earn in the Onchain Builders program or round. It says this category will reward Onchain Builders who contribute to successful optimism. Successful optimism, it seeks to expand the reach and impact of the network by rewarding those who building on the superchain, increasing demand for blockchain space. I'm saying the wrong words, increasing demand for block space and driving value to the collective. This includes builders who bring new users to the superchain, drive network effects, and protocol usage. Thank you, Rosmari, for sharing the link. Did that answer your question there, Will?
Crystal clear.
Okay, that sounds great. And then, yeah, there's also another one for OP Stack coming up soon. So everybody can read this on the screen too. The OP Stack is at the heart of Optimism, the superchain, and this is the technical infrastructure that the OP mainnet base and all these other great networks are built upon. And that one's due in August. And then there's one for governance, which is all about increasing the capture resistance and resource allocation of Optimism governance, and enhancing governance tools, mechanisms, processes, and so forth that help build a more robust and resilient governance framework within the ecosystem for Optimism. And that also, I believe, can also be exported around the world too for all sorts of organizations and communities. And this focuses on rewarding key governance infrastructure that enables continued decentralization, as well as research and analytical tools that provide valuable insights into governance design. And then dev tooling, supporting Optimism builders with developer tooling is the focus of this category, from SDKs to testing frameworks. Contributions that streamline the development process and empower builders will be rewarded, ensuring a more efficient and productive development environment. And that one's October. So I had responded to Hodlan that I think that contributions to Optimism Fractal could be eligible for on-chain builders, as Optimism Fractal is doing some transactions on the OP mainnet, as well as providing collaborative opportunities for builders and education for builders and all sorts of different things, bringing new users to the superchain and so forth, and people who contribute to Optimism Fractal in various ways can do so. And then also helping with governance. We have our council process and our consensus process that we discussed before, and a lot of what we are doing is rooted in these fractal decision-making processes, and also developer tooling. I was talking with Hodlan a little bit about how this can facilitate development as well. We had an interesting chat in the Discord there about it. So, and then I started writing this blog post too, I guess, just to provide a bit more detail. If anybody wants to jump in, then feel free to share your thoughts or anything like that. But I'm kind of excited to discuss this topic and have some ideas to discuss. So I mentioned that I guess I don't have the current window open on this tab right now, so I'll pull it up over here. There's another blog post that I started writing basically about how Optimism Fractal can help people earn from RetroFunding. So I'll open that right here now. And I'm working on like making this into a page or blog post or something like that right now, just in a Notion site, and you can see it in the Optimism Fractal Notion. And this, it's like a pretty early draft, but basically there are two different ways that I think that are like very relevant and helpful to help people be aware of as far as how Optimism Fractal can synergize with RetroFunding and how people can earn RetroFunding and how Optimism Fractal can help. So one is that Optimism Fractal can help people who are building public goods and making impact in Optimism Collective earn from RetroFunding in various ways. These include promoting their work and raising awareness of people's work. You know, everybody's welcome to join these events and share what they're doing to help Optimism and create public goods. And so you can promote it with the people in your breakout rooms and during the planning sessions. And also, since we produce the videos and we promote the videos, and we also are producing all the breakout rooms too. I think about making like a superchain builder show or something like that too. Then it's a great way to promote your work so badge holders can learn more about your public goods and the whole ecosystem can. It's also a form of impact evaluation too, since we give each other respect too at this legitimate and credibly neutral democratic process where each person is reviewing each other's work. So people could use respect act as a merit or as a metric of impact evaluation. And it also provides opportunities for networking, collaboration, and community engagement and user engagement, so people can collaborate to build their apps, or learn who's using their apps, or learn who's developing or might be interested in collaborating in some ways. Basically, it could be a place where it is a place where people come together and can work together on all sorts of exciting stuff that can create a positive impact and create public goods for the Optimism Collective that help earn RetroFunding. And then the second way that Optimism Fractal could help people earn RetroFunding is that people can earn RetroFunding by contributing to Optimism Fractal. So we talked before about all those projects and tasks that we have at Optimism Fractal, and lots of people had expressed interest in helping with this, and really appreciate that. So there's all those projects and tasks. In general, too, the way the Optimism Fractal works is that anybody who joins these events, like, you don't have to do something that somebody else says. If you just pick up something that you think would be helpful, like, for example, Zeugher was talking about integrating ENS with Optimism Fractal in the Respect Game app. So if Zeugher were just going to do that, then he'd probably get like a level 6 or level 5, or, you get a lot of respect basically for that. And then that could be used to, measure the impact and so forth that people are creating. So people can do whatever they want. And if the peers and other people at Optimism Fractal think it's helpful or see value in it, then they can help people raise awareness for that and help people earn from it and so forth. And then we have all the projects with lots of different technical contributions that people can make to the software that we're building, like the app that Vlad is building, or there's been several other things, like talking about integrating with EAS, Ethereum Attestation Service, and many other things that we're building here, or marketing, promotion, inviting friends to the events. And
Or
this
HATS
includes
protocol.
integrate with HATS protocol. Yes, thank you, Rosmari. We have a Telegram chat with the founders of HATS protocol, where we're doing some really exciting collaborations there. And yeah, also marketing promotion too. Rosmari, you've been doing excellent work, but we appreciate it. Hodlon and several other people have invited a bunch of people to Optimism Fractal, and also inviting people to other events too. Like, for example, Will was talking about the events that he hosts on X Spaces with Kingfishers. And so, and Bridges hosts events now too. She's hosted several great events that are like very informative for learning how to access the missions and like different proposals, as well as the delegate office hours. And there's several others that we have in that calendar that we talked about too, like L2B host calls, and there's the ones that Michael hosts, and a bunch of great calls. So like people can earn from RetroFunding by helping Optimism in general, and also by helping Optimism Fractal in general, inviting people to the events and building the tools and so forth. And then also this article is still kind of like early too, so I put this together quickly. And just as a disclaimer too, this was mostly written on by ChatGPT, so I did a transcript. I was talking to my phone for like a half hour this morning, and this is what I said, so it's like really long and stuff, so I have to organize it better. But this is just like I asked ChatGPT to summarize, so I'd have something to show and discuss a little bit. But obviously this will be improved, and I'll add links and stuff where people can dive into it deeper. But yeah, basically those are some of like the main ways that you can both earn by you can earn RetroFunding. And RetroFunding, by the way, in case anybody's like not sure what we're talking about here, I think most people are familiar. But if you go to optimism.io and then you go to hover over where it says governance, and you go to RetroPGF, it's also called RetroPGF sometimes, you can learn about it. It's as far as I know, the largest public goods funding mechanism in the world, and it's an amazing system that it's enabling people to build public goods and make a living and build businesses around doing things that are helpful for the world. You can see Bridges right there talking about creating a sustainable model where with Ethereum Mexico, and hosting events and boosting people in the community. And so several other people, or many, like there's been hundreds of people who have been building businesses around this, and it's been super helpful for the Optimistics team that has that creates Optimism Fractal, or created Optimism Fractal, and all sorts of great stuff that's going on to make a better future for the world and the internet and so forth. So you can learn more this at optimism.io/RetroPGF. And then there's that new article too, where you can learn about exactly how this works. There's 850 million OP dedicated to RetroFunding, which at the current market rate, it's like several $billion for public goods, which is amazing. And so encourage people to look into these opportunities and see how you can contribute to the Optimism Collective as a whole, and also to Optimism Fractal. And we see a huge amount of synergy between these. And then also one thing that I should add here too is that like these are kind of like the current ways that you can earn by contributing to Optimism Fractal, and the current value propositions that Optimism Fractal can provide. But there's much more in the works too, and much more also that I didn't mention, that's just not in this article, so I'm having a difficult time remembering it all. But like, for example, in the last season of RetroPGF round 3 that happened about 4 months ago, back in December, or ended in December. We hosted, right after Optimism Fractal, we hosted an event called Retro Pitches, where everybody was able to, everybody who had a RetroPGF pitch or a RetroFunding pitch and a project, they're able to pitch it. And we played like this fun game where people could join the events and take 5 minutes to share what they're doing and promote their work. You can watch these at optimistics.io/retro pitches. Like here, we had 7 or 8 amazing projects that contributed to optimism, and so it's a great way to learn about all these different projects. And so these are like some of the things that we're doing at Optimism Fractal to produce videos for events. Eventually we want to produce clips for each person's presentation as well, so we can make it very easy for people to promote their work. But you can go like skip around here, and we're also working on something called respect trees and OPF trees, so that people can vote with their respect during the meetings as well. So all these things will be able to help people evaluate impact, and there's much more coming soon as well. So we greatly appreciate. And right now there's a 4-person team who is like there's myself, Rosmari, Vlad, and Das, who are leading most of the development for Optimism Fractal. And we really want to make this into a thing. Like I think that I think Gabriel before had mentioned it would be amazing when there's, or if or when there's hundreds of people or thousands of people at the Optimism Fractal events. And that's the vision. It's fractal, so it's meant to scale in size. And we envision a future where there's both thousands of people here and then thousands of people at these different kinds of communities that are cooperating with these processes, as well as other things like HATS protocol and other sorts of helpful innovations for cooperating that people are building in the Optimism Collective. So we greatly appreciate for anybody who's interested in getting involved. Will, I saw before, I meant to respond actually, but I saw that you were planning to look into the Notion page more in detail and see how you can get involved. At some point you said something like that when you get a chance to like dig into it and help out. So I really appreciate that very much, Will. And also Zeugher mentioned ENS, and several other people mentioned helping too. So we greatly appreciate it, and we think that, and like we're very excited to collaborate with people for Optimism Fractal, and we believe it could be super helpful for Optimism Collective, and that these collaborations will be super helpful for the world as a whole, because we have a huge amount of helpful innovations here, and the more we can work together to bring it to the world and
I love it.
help each other
Yeah,
out,
what I was
that'll be
gonna-
much better for everybody.
Yeah, what I was going to say on your commentary there is I'm getting to a place in my workflow because this is basically the 3rd of my core working groups that I'm involved in. So one, my company, Kingfishers Media, that's my top priority. But then also with Let's Grow Down, my involvement there is basically the marketing manager, and then helping out where I can pitch in over here too with Optimism Fractal. So my workflow is getting more streamlined. I think the heaviest lift I got off my plate this week with the transition of the Learning Center from Google Classroom to Charmverse, and now a lot of mechanisms in there we can automate. So yeah, as I free up time and bandwidth, I'd love to be more of an active contributor with this working group.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Will. I really appreciate that. Feel free to let me know if there's anything I can do to help to guide you. If there's any like specific ways that you're interested in contributing, I'm happy to discuss it here.
Yeah,
or in other videos or in chat.
let me look through the Notion site, because I know it's very similar to Charmverse. I don't know if they're built on the same code set or not, but they're very similar as far as the flow, right? I've got it bookmarked. I've got a separate window just for this group that I can work through. So yeah, let me just carve out some time, go through all the documentation, and then who knows, you may be surprised. You may just see me start adding to the Notion site.
Okay, sounds great. I don't know if you have access to it yet. I mean, it's all public. It's all publicly readable. But if you did want to leave comments or write on there, then I'd have to give you access to it. So if you wanted to PM me your email, and this is also an open offer to anybody too, if you want to PM me your email, then I can give you access, so you can be able to write stuff and comment there as well. And of course, you can just read it, and everybody can read it. Without doing that. And over time, just to also provide a bit of clarity, that's really cool that you integrated with Charmverse. I'm interested to see that. Charmverse is a lot newer of a product than Notion. Notion's been around for probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and it's Web 2 basically, but it's like a very powerful software. And Charmverse is inspired heavily by Notion. It also has some other features for proposals and stuff like that, but it works on Web3 and it's a much more decentralized version of it. So I've also been doing a lot of research into Charmverse as well. And at some point we might want to like port over some of the stuff that we have on Notion over to Charmverse, but it is a pretty similar interface. And then also, thanks so much for keeping...
and especially,
Oh,
yeah, and especially with the new integration to EAS, I mean, that can go a long way in the impact reporting mechanisms, right? Because we were exploring that as well. Gitcoin and their ecosystem, you know, they have the hypercerts. However, the functionality on that platform's been less than desirable. For us, I think EAS, and I had a private meeting with a hypercert team a few months ago too about educational, you know, doing like educational impact reporting through hypersearch. They're not at that point yet, whereas I feel EAS is, for us, is a better fit because you can do the attestation using a template directly onto on-chain there, and you can say this, how many learners, you know, everything like that. So yeah, I'd love to be helpful if you guys decide to port from Notion to Charmverse, and not only the introductions, because there is an ambassador program they have, but it is very similar in product design and workflow. So it should be a fairly easy transition. And like you said, the Web3 gamification aspect of it, EAS integration, you can set up not only proposals, you can do the rewards against proposals, you can do it in straight OP, you can do it in any custom token on OP if you want to. Even, I don't know, how is the respect, is that a token standard that's the driving mechanism behind respect?
Yeah,
like an
so
ERC20 or something?
yeah, so currently the Respect has a unique token design, and it's a non-transferable soulbound NFT.
Okay.
It's
So it's an
and
SPT, probably ERC 1155 standard.
well, right now it is a I don't know exactly what it is because Vlad designed, or no, Tadasi designed in an interesting way. And if you want to get your resources, but it shows up and it displays in the interfaces for both ERC 721 and ERC 20, because you can count
Okay.
it both in terms of like the fungible amount of respect you've earned over all time, and then you can also see it in explorers like OpenSea or Azure and stuff like that. So it works in both
Right.
ways. But he's also considering
Okay.
just switching over to ERC 1155 or 1155. And I've been thinking about doing that as well, because that might make it simpler. But there's some benefits about it. I'm planning to talk with the DOS about it. But yeah, either way, it's one of those standards right now. We'll have that like figured out exactly what the best standard is in a short amount of time. And then yeah, we can integrate that into Charmverse, and we'd love to make it so people can vote with the respect in Charmverse and so forth. That's one of our goals.
Yeah. Well, if you guys need help with that build out or anything in that area, I've become very familiar with Charmverse over the last 4 months. I'm really liking it. Now, just going back to my former corporate career before I came into Web3, being a project manager, it's a great project management tool. Outside of anything, I think probably maybe Notion is the best comparison to it. But like we use like Trello boards and stuff like that, and it's just very difficult to manage, even though they try to simplify it as much as possible. So I really love the flow on Charmverse for sure.
Sounds great. Well, yeah, thank you so much for the offer. Well, I'll remember that. I just made a note about that and appreciate your experience. I've been meaning to get into it. And I love Notion too. I've been like all about Notion for like 6 years, something like that. And I think it has a really helpful like design, and it's much more functional than something like Trello board, because it has that, but it has a lot more too. And I'm very excited about how Charmverse can integrate, especially with all the Web3 and Optimism integrations. That's really exciting. And also really appreciate you said a bunch of stuff before that I didn't respond to, but really appreciate your interest in helping and having the window open for Optimism Fractal stuff and getting involved with that when you have a chance. So I really appreciate that. And of course, feel free to let us know if there's anything we could do to help your work with Kingfishers and Let's Grow as well. I've been really enjoying learning about your work. I'm looking forward to listening to X Space hopefully later today. And yeah, happy to help if there's anything that we can do to provide to help you with these initiatives as well.
Appreciate the offer. Collaboration over competition. That's what I love about Web3.
There we go. And a little bit of co-opetition too, a little bit of portmanteau too, some friendly competitions to strive us to do better, but still in a fun, collaborative way.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Will. Really appreciate it. Excellent conversation. We have 4 minutes left scheduled to the top of the hour, so we can wrap it up at any time. I see Bridges said have to get out. It's a pleasure to have been here. Thanks so much, Bridges. Thanks.
Yeah, I think I have to go too. I've got a podcast on doing a guest appearance on for a friend of mine podcast at the top of the hour, and I need a little bit of decompression time before that to gather my thoughts.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I think we could probably wrap it up here then. Is there anything else you want to say, Rosmari, before we wrap it up? I don't mean to rush you too. If you want to share any thoughts here, thanks so much, Bridges, for joining. Really appreciate it. And hope you have a great day. And thanks, Will. Hope you have a great podcast. And yeah, today was an awesome meeting. So really appreciate the work that everybody here is doing too. And looking forward to collaborating with y'all. Thank you very much for the claps. We got the claps. Everybody's clapping. Maybe I'll clap too. Woohoo! Rosmari, do you have any other thoughts before we wrap it up, or should we wrap it up?
That was a great session. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much too.
See you guys next week.
Talk to you next week. Okay, sounds good. Rosmari, should we do it? Should we do it between ourselves? 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Fractal.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3,
2,
1.
Go.
Optimism
Fractal.
Fractal! All right.
Okay.
Thanks everybody so much. And see you next week, 7 EDC, Optimism Fractal. Have a wonderful day.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.